Biography of Luang Phor Phrom, Wat Chong Kae, Nakhon Sawan Province. Luang Phor Phrom Tower Ro was born on Thursday, April 2, 1883, in Bon Prak District, Maharaja, a subdivision of the Ayutthaya Province. During his childhood, he was educated by Buddhist priests from the neighboring temple. After becoming sufficiently literate in Thai, he mastered the Khmer language before officially being ordained as a Buddhist monk at Wat Chong Kae, Ayutthaya Province. He was ordained a monk under the authority of Luang Phor Phrom, his mentor. In a short time, he became an advanced practitioner of Buddhist meditation, leading to an enlightened and tranquil mind called Vipassana Karmatana in Thai. His disciples said that Luang Phor Phrom learned and chanted Pali verses from the text of a sermon that chants by Archan Puang, Luang Phor Dam, and Archan Pu Warn for many years. After Archan Pu Warn passed away, his period of studying supernatural subjects was over. He, therefore, took the road as a wandering monk, Tudong, for spiritual advancement. He went deep into the forests and exchanged knowledge of magic and the supernatural with mentors who were both young and old. Many of you must be wondering who Luang Phor Phrom's masters were. Archan Puang obtained all his knowledge under the monastic coaching of King Tixin and King Rama, the first master. Luang Pu Nin educated Archan Pu Warn from Wat Khao Pa Sak in the province of Chabun, Luang Pu Sang from Wat Manikola Khan, Lopaburi province, and Archan Peng. One of these three instructors was the most influential mentor of Pra Archan To of Wat Rakong. Phrom, known for his wisdom and compassion, was keenly interested in attaining enlightenment. He went on a merit-making pilgrimage to Myanmar after the end of Buddhist Lent with Luang Phor Phrom of Wat Nong Pho. Throughout the journey to Yangon, he endured tremendous suffering and hardship in his encounters with ferocious wild animals, blood-sucking leeches, and extreme weather conditions deep in jungles. Despite these obstacles, he managed to complete his pilgrimage, and he committed an act of worship at the Great Havadagon Pagoda. Sharpened by his trials and merit-making, he grew wiser. Luang Phor Phrom was always mindful and refrained from carelessness and monastic indiscretion. He never exploited any animals along his journey of merit-making due to his strict adherence to the commandments, which strictly instructed that a Buddhist monk must avoid committing sins against all life. Whenever he meditates, he chants a mantra to generate a magical 7-layer wall around him for protection. After every meditation session, he would permanently remove the magical wall because it might harm animals wandering along if he just left it. After being a wandering Tudong monk for quite some time, he returned to Thailand by walking along the river Mae La Mor bank in the province of Tak through Wat Chong Kae to Kli, a province of Nakhon Sawan subdivision. After entering the province, he met with a ferocious rainstorm. So he went to shelter himself in the caves of Chong Kae. He realized that the atmosphere in the caves was so solemn and quiet that it was ideal for him to conduct his training in meditation. Immediately, he decided to build a monastery there. Nothing was in the cave, not even a bed at that time. Luang Phor Phrom lived under challenging conditions in the caves above the ground. Later, the local residents saw it was too harsh for Luang Phor to live in the caves and invited him to move down to Wat Chong Kae as the monastery abbot. He agreed, and before long, monk residences, a kitchen house, a pavilion for sermons, and a sacred hall with Buddha images were built from donations. He became famous and respected, so naturally, his disciples started asking Luang Phor to bless and consecrate objects, such as Buddha images or holy amulets, with Luang Phor Phrom's image or talisman cloth. As expected, all these religious objects were distributed in a very short time. Luang Phor gave these sacred objects freely to needy people and did not ask for anything in return. After the pilgrimage to the Great Havadagon Pagoda in Myanmar, he fondly remembered how the gigantic bell rotated like magic. It impressed him greatly. Thus, bells were an important symbol in Luang Phor Phrom's sacred objects. Many of them were shaped like bells or had images of bells. One example would be an amulet with an image of Luang Phor Phrom sitting inside a bell. He was also inspired to create a Myanmar-style bell which was to be made of brass, gold, various metals, and stone. It proved to be a challenging project due to technical reasons. After several failed attempts, Luang Phor gave up. Later in 1973, Luang Phor allowed one of Wat Chong Kae's council members to create sacred objects containing unique materials by chanting magical mantras and blowing with the mouth to transfer the magic to the objects. The materials inside these sacred objects have become popular among the public and those who adore Luang Phor Phrom. Luang Phor Phrom stayed at Wat Chong Kae for 58 years as an abbot. While in charge of the monastery, he promoted Buddhism tirelessly, helped people in need medically and financially, and supported the Wat Chong Kae school in the temple area as its patron. He passed away peacefully on Jan 30, 1975, at 91. His body was placed in a crystal coffin, and his remains are displayed at the Wat Chong Kae. Surprisingly, his body was not decomposed after over 30 years. Luang Phor Phrom knew about medicinal herbs and medicinal treatment by boiling restorative solutions. Whenever people living around Wat Chong Kae contracted a disease, they would always consult Luang Phor Phrom and receive a remedy by taking a medicinal solution combined with magical formula blowing. Astoundingly, these people would always recover very quickly. There was no question why people all over Thailand paid homage to him at Wat Chong Kae and got some medicinal treatment from him. In time, the Tamu boiling medicinal solution ceremony was established and held every April. Luang Phor Phrom ordered members of the monastery council to search for herbs from two sources, behind Wat Phra Kaeu in the province of Ayutthaya, especially for the herbs growing on a termite hill. Koakat region in the province of Nakhon Sawan is called Kra Don Din, for the herbs growing on paddy farms, and Tin Toa and Plalai Perk at Wat Nong Luang in the same province. It was said from word of mouth that the all-rounded herbal solution could cure all kinds of ailments. You just had to chant a formula before swallowing the solution. Moreover, if any person uses the solution as a shampoo or for bathing, they would be protected and invulnerable to weapons. It was a medicine superior to all. Luang Phor Phrom was a man of few words. He seldom spoke and rarely socialized due to his dedication to meditation practice. He was an incomparable meditation practitioner full of supernatural powers who benefited people who believed in him. Conversely, he was the best listener with a good ear and a kind heart. Therefore, as a matter of principle, he would always speak out when something critical would occur shortly. It was prophecy, and he was often called a prophet. He was known as Luang Phor Pak Pra Rung, the Luang Phor with miraculous power of mouth. The following stories are some testimonials of his biography. Ms. Clau Pan Tang Suan, a food vendor at the train station in Wat Chong Kae, went to make some merit at the temple so often that she became very familiar with Luang Phor Phrom. One day, Luang Phor Phrom greeted her and said, Clau, you're going to be a millionaire soon." She replied, "I don't think that's possible, but richer than what I have now would be perfect." "Okay. Just richer as you wish," he said back. Not long after the conversation, she became more prosperous. Eventually, she donated a big lump sum to the temple and built a hall for sermons as a tribute to Luang Phor Phrom. Another incident occurred. There was a member of the monastery council who embezzled money from donations and monastery funds. When this was discovered, Luang Phor Phrom said, if that person did take money from the monastery, he would die. True enough, he passed away shortly after Luang Phor Phrom noted this. Sometimes, Luang Phor Phrom liked to give out fiant cloth talismans to those who came to pay homage to him. These talismans would be blessed by magical formula blowing. Whoever took these talismans home would become magnificently fortunate and affluent. However, these talismans were considered rare, so a temple monk bought dozens of fiant at the marketplace and sold them without Luang Phor's permission. When Luang Phor recognized this deceitful business, he asked the monk, "Are you crazy?" Supernaturally, the monk came undone and went unnoticed since then. Dr. Som Suk Konguria, one of his disciples, recounted that one day, he said, "Luang Phor, whenever you speak out, it's like cursing. You say unexpected things, but it will always come true astonishingly." He asked then, "Isn't that a sin against living things which is forbidden in the rules for monks?" "Not a curse, but a blessing," replied Luang Phor Phrom. Dr. Som Suk then realized, as a result of a sudden, that it was very true that Luang Phor Phrom prophesied critical events and blessed people on purpose. When Luang Phor Phrom foresaw that something wrong would occur, he would likely present people with an apocalyptic vision of the future as a warning to avoid making bad decisions and committing sins. Prasaman Kitivatho, a Buddhist monk currently living in Wat Chong Kae, described astoundingly that Luang Phor Phrom could walk on the surface of a pond. It was witnessed by him and several children playing around the area. One day, Luang Phor Phrom had gone to the pond to get water to bathe himself. He sat on the edge of a wooden jetty with his basin to dig up water to cleanse himself. As he immersed his feet into the pond, a strong wind blew the basin far away. Luang Phor asked the children who were also bathing to get the basin, but it was too far away to grab. Luang Phor then told the children he would pick it up himself. Luang Phor then stood and walked on the pond's surface to pick up the basin, which had blown far away. All the children witnessed that and were shocked. It's hard to believe it is possible, but many witnesses saw it. Those who believe in Luang Phor Phrom may pay homage to his body in Wat Chong Kae's sermon hall. Everyone can pray and make wishes for their lives to improve. Good things always happen to those who do good deeds. Suppose you wish to offer prayer to Reverend Luang Phor Phrom. Concentrate on the triple gem and Luang Phor Phrom when chanting and reciting the kata 9 times continuously for Luang Phor Phrom to be closer to you. The following kata chanting is recorded and repeated 3 times to help you practice the pronunciation. Now let us chant the preliminary prayer. Before chanting to any Thai Buddhist statue or amulet. First, chant 3 times of this initial mantra. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
นะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะพรหมาอาราธนานังเมตตาสุขตะมหาลาภังสัพเพปิอันตรายาเมมเหสุประสิทธิเมพรหมาอาราธนานังเมตตาสุขตะมหาลาภังสัพเพปิอันตรายาเมมเหสุประสิทธิเมพรหมาอาราธนานังเมตตาสุขตะมหาลาภังสัพเพปิอันตรายาเมมเหสุประสิทธิเม
I pray to Reverend Luang Phor Phrom. May your days be filled with good health, mercy, and great fortune, and protect you from all dangers and harms. May happiness and success always be by your side.